Greetings, and welcome everyone. Happy Friday to Strictly Art Live, number 95. I'm your host, Rob Wilson. I am a comic book artist and a whole bunch of other stuff, but mainly comic book artist. That's what I focus on, and that's what I bring to you today. It is Friday, October the 17th, 2025, and we're starting on time. We're here to get stuff done. Hopefully, have some fun in the process. I try to do these live streams as often as I can when I have time. And apparently, I'm going to have a little more time. So I'm going to spend it with you however way best I can. Hopefully, it's informational and entertainment all wrapped into one as we cover multiple subjects while I do some drawing. This is a bit of an accountability thing. I'm up to like 700 videos, and I think I just lost a viewer on YouTube. But 700 videos, that means that this train does not stop, and it will keep moving along. Rain, sleet, or snow, whether it's a new beginning or the end of the world, this show keeps going. So, the DMV is getting chilly. Fall season is upon us. Like 60 is becoming the norm now at some point in the day, or early morning, or as soon as the sun drops. So get ready for the winter. It's starting off to be a cold one in the fall as we move towards that holiday season full of cheer. So let's see. Today we're going to cover My Hero Academia, the final season, episode 2. We're also going to cover the first episode of season 3 of One Punch Man. That is out with a vengeance as well. I'm going to do a quick review, not too much of spoilers, well, possibly at this point. If you haven't seen it, that's not my fault. I just recently seen it. I think it's been out in theater for about a month now, and a month plus. So I'm going to share my thoughts on it, so I can't guarantee it's going to be spoiler free. So plug your ears, run away, and never return. No, I'm kidding. Also, we got breaking news too on the Marvel Rivals side of things. In fact, we're going to go over that as soon as I get back. Also, cutting back some of my Marvel Rivals playtime to do more art. That is priority. That's how things go on my end. And, just trying to love life, enjoy it for what it is. Make sure that my time is appreciated and it is precious to me. Looks like we got the people selling views already on Kick. You know what? I'm not even gonna ban these guys anymore. They can do whatever they want. I mean, I'm just not gonna not gonna purchase, unfortunately. I like the way things are rolling. For people that do show up on the show, I'll talk to you, and don't think I'm unapproachable. But for people that watch the replay, that's fine. Either way, like I said, the show's gotta keep going. We gotta steamroll ahead. I'm a steamroller, baby, and I'm rolling down the line. So you better get out of my way now before I roll all over you. All right, let's go ahead and make this happen right here on Strictly Art Live, number 95, right now.
The stars went cold. We lost the line, we broke the mold. No fleet, no orders, just the glow of crew cut loose with nowhere to go. walls and flips his color. Saxophone crimes just make him baller. DNA learns to cry in loops. Macho K flexes through the troops. Madame Troy, she sips and sees all your trauma in the breeze. Red alert, baby. Red alert, baby. Make it glow. Make it so. Where the crew time try to bury. Still too bright, too wild to go. Red alert, baby. Make it
Whew! That's what I'm talking about. That's how we get this show started right here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, somewhere in a parallel universe, that is happening 24/7. That red alert, baby. I can't stress it enough. I get it. Some people don't like AI and they got to disavow people publicly and all that. Whatever. Life moves on. And clearly, that is not going to stop on this show because I just like the song. I do. And I like the video. It's awesome. You know, I could hate, but I couldn't. I can't. It's too good. Sorry. That's the kind of fun I like to have. Definitely ain't going to be a Debbie Downer on that one. Let's see here. All right. So, yeah, breaking news. We're going to go ahead and get started with this Marvel Rivals PvE mode that is about to come out. And it just came out. The video premiere just came out 7 hours ago. Everyone's reacting to it, so let's go ahead and make this happen. Let's see. All right, and then I can go ahead and get the drawing. First off, I did not watch Marvel Zombies. I get the gist of it though. Probably not going to watch it because it's about Scarlet Witch.
Wow, the Marvel animation team really killed that trailer. I'm so excited to be here with Brad Winderbaum, head of streaming, television, and animation for Marvel Studios, who's been spearheading these shows. Brad, you guys totally brought Marvel Zombies to life.
Thanks, Danny. But I'm guessing we're not here just to talk about how cool Marvel Zombies is, are we?
Well, yes and no, because we got something huge to share today. Marvel Rivals is teaming up with Marvel Animation to bring you our first ever PvE mode, Zombie Mode.
PvE Zombie Mode? You're not just pulling my leg or trying to eat it, right?
I'm dead serious. In this Marvel Zombies Inspire mode, you get to play as Thor, Blade, Magic, Jeff, and the Punisher, taking on endless waves of zombies. You'll have to survive the Horde, go toe-to-toe with Zombie Namor, and the Queen of the Dead as bosses, and fight to save the world from getting totally zombified. We also give...
So, you can only play 6 characters so far. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but so far, 6 characters. Enough to make up a team. But let's continue.
Given each hero some unique abilities. Charge through the hordes as Jeff, slice and dice with blades, bouncing moon blades, shock zombies with Thor in his persistent awakened state, or go berserk as Magic in her unlimited Darkchild form. Showcase your epic combat skills against the zombie swarms and tough bosses.
Sounds absolutely incredible. I'm dying to play it.
Here's a sneak peek of zombie mode.
Moonlight never fades, and neither do I. I'll take zombies over vamps any day. The hunt is on.
I was gonna play Blade. We need some cooler costumes. He's gotta have the same too. I think he's supposed to have like the Moon Knight costume from the show. This looks fun. Guess I'm gonna have to learn Punisher. Oh God, a Scarlet Witch. So that right there is that's actually something interesting. It reminds me of what a particular content creator once stated that was a fan of Marvel Avengers, and that's Eric July. I remember he was saying, about Marvel Avengers because he was playing the game. He was big on Hulk and stuff like that. I do remember him stating that after so many fan complaints or requests about different modes, the game started to lose its identity to a degree. It was a PvE game. Now, like this game right here, Marvel Rivals, is a arena shooter, competitive arena shooter, and now they're introducing new modes to the game to keep people interested. There's recently just been a drop in player base, and honestly, I haven't had much desire to play recently because it's like, okay, same characters are. We got Daredevil. I really didn't feel like learning Daredevil. I didn't feel like playing Daredevil. So I did my usual Adam Warlock stuff, and team rivals and the tryouts, and played with the big bad orange man. My Venom, and that's been fun. But just haven't been playing it as much lately. So many characters, but not really who I really want to play or how I want to play them. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Adam Warlock, so first and foremost, that's always my first gripe and concern. Let the man fly without having to die, please. And I would be forgiving if Juggernaut and Sentry were added to the game. The zombie mode pretty much does nothing for me. It forces me to use characters I don't want to use. I'm just being blunt, keeping it real. And yeah, somebody, I'm sure they'll get a kick. All the Jeff players, all those type of players will enjoy it, I'm sure. And I think it's the first game to actually have a boss. The first game in Marvel Rivals to have a boss. Which for some reason, I asked people in some of the previous seasons if you could actually fight Dracula or have you fought Doom yet. They said no. So it's kind of interesting they have not had in-game content yet for this kind of game, but it specifically focuses on competitive, and now it's pivoting from that. It is pivoting from competitive onto PvE, which I like PvE. There's normally somebody to play with on PvE, team of 6 versus something, and I think fighting zombies is a good start, especially for Halloween season. They're going to come out with the Scarlet Witch costume, the zombie costume, Queen of the Dead, because she's got to be so important in this game and in Marvel. And that's just not my cup of tea. But like I said, I'd be willing to learn Punisher. I'm not using Jeff. I don't play Jeff. Who else is on there? Magic. I hate Magic. I don't like her. I don't. At all. Never liked her. Not even in the comics. She was never important to me, regardless of how her story was told. Just never liked her. Who else? So Punisher, Jeff, Blade, Magic. Oh, and Thor. Yeah. No, not using Thor. Sorry. I like Thor in Marvel Avengers. That was a great game because he was a much more complex character. He could throw the hammer and actually stick enemies to the wall. That was a great aesthetic and dynamic, increasing the depth of gameplay for that character. So in here, nah. And plus, he looks too old. So Blade, I would be willing to play in the Marvel Zombies mode. I think that would be fun. The Moon Knight costume, not really a fan. I really want to see like the classic Wesley Snipes. Blade, trench coat, clean cut, fade. But they'll probably have to pay Wesley Snipes money. And Marvel does not want to do that. They never want to. They are cheap. So, new mode. We'll see if that brings more people to the game. We shall see. What the hell is this music? Shit sounds weird. Hopefully that'll bring more people to the game. We shall see. As people are leaving in mass droves. Playing other games, obviously. You can only play one game, but so much, especially competitively. And some people have the mindset of, hey, if I'm not going to keep complaining about the game, I'll find something else to play. So there's nothing wrong with that. People have the right to change their minds or shift to something else, gamers. They are not 100% beholden to Marvel Rivals as it's coming up to its 1-year anniversary. It's a bright and shiny toy, but as we see, people have so much stuff to complain about everything. So you can't make everybody happy. The game is what it is. It is fun for the most part, but it has its issues. And then one issue is addressed and another issue is addressed. Again, can't make everybody happy. So that's it. Marvel Zombies is on the way, probably before Halloween. So that's the idea. I think it would be a great opportunity to introduce a character of the likes of like Hobgoblin or Green Goblin. Those are pretty much Halloween type characters, but Marvel Rivals can't get Adam Warlock to fly without having to die. So I digress. Y'all know how I go when it comes to that. So moving on. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and trim to My Hero Academia, the final season, episode 2. Let's see here. That seems like it's being difficult. Okay. Give me 1 second. Hopefully everybody's doing good out there. I'm always glad to have some time to spend with y'all, whether you're watching live or the replay. It is rather therapeutic for me to have this show. So I got to keep it rolling. And it's more of a record of work. So let's see. All right, here we go. My Hero Academia final season, episode 2, delivered a pivotal and emotional charge installment to the series' conclusion, focusing on All Might's desperate battle against All for One and the dramatic return of Bakugo. That's pretty much it in the sum, but you had Stain's sacrifice. He actually showed up at the end of episode 1, and pretty much we thought we were going to see like a tag team thing going on. It was so short-lived, unfortunately. Stain came out like a boss. He froze up All for One. And of course, All for One, accounted for it. And Stain got pretty much, he got One Punch Man down, so to speak. He got knocked across the building along with All Might. They shared that pain to a degree. All for One, in his youthful form, was determined to eliminate him off the chessboard. As All Might tried to stop him, he could not. He failed. Stain tried to buy him some time as best he could, as the blood curdling technique that he used, apparently All for One changed his DNA or something like that. It's like, all right, yeah, we get it. You got every freaking thing accounted for. Great. Ultimate mass supervillain, Grim. That's one thing with the villains in this game, or in this show. It takes the superhero fun and really turns it towards a really dark alley, a dark edge to it. Because the villains, they're not there just to, hey, I rob a bank and I get away. Some villains are like, I am here to kill heroes. And for a hero to be snuffed out, it's a big freaking deal in My Hero Academia. Especially if you have a high hero rank rating, you come from a certain class, you've been saving people for years, people see you on TV, there's merch out there for you and all that for that hero. So it's a big freaking deal. And for Stain, he's not that popular. He's killed multiple heroes because he considered them false heroes. No one is realistic as the one true All Might, the previous wielder of One for All. So, unfortunately, All Might couldn't save him, but Stain bought him some time before All Might almost bit the dust. However, All Might, after Stain's death, which was brutal, tried to go out like a boss, use his final attack or last minute ditch plan to self-destruct and take All for One with him, which unfortunately failed, and he was carried onto the second part of the battlefield. Also, on a side note, Tomura Shigaraki was trying to break through of what's his name, Deku's his vine whips or whatever the thing's called, and they were at a stalemate as the school's being demolished, elevated and demolished. But seeing All Might at the mercy of All for One, in a way, was distracting Deku. It was a pretty emotional moment. I don't know if I fully got into it. I don't think I felt it as much as other scenes recently in the anime. And that scene kind of dragged on for a minute, but you don't want to see one of the Earth's mightiest heroes of My Hero Academia destroyed, the symbol of peace. You didn't want to see that. So I think that's where the episode was on the verge of ending. And Bakudo, which they followed the lore from the movie, was it not Two Heroes, but I think something like Duel of Fates or whatever. A portion of One for All was still in Bakudo, but was demolished by Tomura Shigaraki, however awakened by its latent power. And that is how the episode ended. We shall see what direction they take this in. Who knows? So far, it seems like it's moving along. I don't know if it's even going to be a full 24 episodes this go around. We shall see as the story continues, but it is looking pretty grim pretty early. There was one note where, as I mentioned, Tomura Shigaraki was in the stalemate with Deku. All for One tried to call to him because his DNA is Shigaraki's body is basically another version of All for One. But Shigaraki ignored All for One's orders. So All for One made his way over there as he carried All Might's body. Diminished, however, not dead, for this huge mega battle. There's not really anybody else that can match All for One. And as he gets younger, he becomes more brash, more dangerous. He went a bit Super Saiyan while fighting Stain. And that's where we're at. So it's looking really grim from My Hero Academia final season. This is the most grim I've ever seen it. And don't really see any sign of hope, true hope coming along. Like I said, there's not much of anybody else really that can go toe to toe between the likes of Tomura Shigaraki or All for One. So we shall see. We shall see. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when I come back, we'll go ahead and cover One Punch Man and then get into a quick review of weapons. Right here on Strictly Art Live, Sal, number 95. Go ahead and grab your favorite drink, refill, remix, kick your feet up, or handle what you need to at work. And once you get on your next break, I'll be here. And we are back. All right, so let's see. Moving on to One Punch Man. Whew, October is starting to get busy. So let's see here. This episode functioned as a recap special, summarizing key events from season 2, particularly Samata's confrontations with the Monster Association and Garu's rise as the hero hunter, preparing audiences for the new Monster Association arc. Yeah, see, there's a lot more involvement with the Monster Association. They're trying to replenish their ranks. There was some martial artist that I think it was in like a prison or where, like some area where he was beefing with. He was trying to recruit with the spores. and he was a heavy-handed martial artist. So they didn't really have much of a choice. Either take the spores, join the Monster Association, or die at his hands. I think he killed a couple of them. I can't remember whether Smada showed up and killed him, but I think he is KO'd, which is why the Monster Association is so determined to apply new methods of recruitment and growth. And they also lost the giant freaking centipede monster, thanks to all of Garu's masters. And of course, Samato was playing with the king in video games. And in video games is the only place where the king actually can always defeat One Punch Man himself. Never be in real life, but I guess the king's a winner in something for the games that he plays. But yeah, it was pretty much, as I mentioned, a recap from what I read. But the episode just kind of went along. Wanted to see the characters interact again, and they did in their own way. It was just no big fighting off the break. I mean, I don't think that's a good thing to have off the break of a new season, just automatically right into the fight, unless it's a final season like My Hero Academia. Different story. So even with like season 3 of season 3 of Kaiju number 8, excuse me, I'm on that raw lip, excuse me, pre-workout, because I'm working out right after this. Gotta get it in. My 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 crunches. So yeah, that was pretty much the whole thing there with that episode. But like I said, yeah, there's no telling whether this season is going to end. And plus, you don't want every anime starting off the same way. You know, Vigilantes was a new series with closure from its story arc. A good, I think, 13 episodes. And it carried on talking about a new season, basically hinting at the new season of the current My Hero Academia, the final season, which is understandable. But for this one, I did hear Tyrone Magnus state that this episode was boring, and rightfully so. You know, it's a recap, getting things back into gear. I don't think there were any or many of the rehash scenes from the previous season, like in the final season of MHA. So we got a little bit more, but you know how it is when it comes to viewership. Is it enough? Is it enough to satiate the appetites of anime fans that have come to love this show known as My Hero Academia? We shall see. You know, overall, I haven't heard anything else outside of Tyrone Magnus' statement on it. So that concludes that episode, which, like I said, not much action. Obviously, in this show too, it's more about the dialogue because Saitama, you know, he's literally One Punch Man. So if he shows up, he's going to eliminate whatever he's facing in record time. He's been doing that for seasons after seasons after seasons, which is why they focus more on other characters, because he's a one-hitter quitter. You know, that's it. And I think there's only been a few times where he's actually had to hit twice, you know, which was, I think, the final boss in the first season. The fight on the moon, which was pretty epic. But most of the time, Saitama, he will dodge and duck or just take the attack and be like, huh? What happened? You know, unfazed. And that's a really downer to whatever enemy he's facing. But we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. I think Garu, if he does become a monster, may become the ultimate match between him and Saitama. We shall see. So yeah, to me, I think One Punch Man season 3 episode 1 had a decent start. Characters got demolished last season, so it would make sense that people recovered. Garu was still hurt when he woke up out of the prison cell at the Monster Association. So we'll see what other monsters they introduce as well, aside from him, because right now they're already promoting him to leadership. They want him to go get the head of any hero and bring it back as proof of his loyalty, which he went out to go do. So the Monster King, or whatever his name is, I forgot, the statue looking gargoyle dude with the razor sharp teeth, that's the task he gave Garu, and Garu went to go do it. So that's the next step. However, I am curious, if Garu does become a monster, will he use that power to go up against and defy the Monster Association's leader to become the new leader of that association? Who knows? We'll see what direction that story goes. That's just a little bit of my theorizing for the direction of this season. All right, let's get on weapons. Let's see. Zach Craig. I don't really know much of what else Zach Craig has done. However, weapons, supernatural, mystery, horror. That's 3 categories all in one. Film, written, directed, and produced, and co-scored by Zach Craig. Hey, he did the music too. Known for Barbarian. I did see Barbarian. Barbarian was just barbaric. I wasn't a big fan of it. I mean, it was something to watch. Wasn't what I expected, but people liked it. There were in theater reactions because of the grotesqueness. Now, I think the shock value is what matters for movies like that now these days. So let's see. The film follows the unsettling disappearance of 17 children from the same classroom who vanished simultaneously, leaving a community to unravel the mystery behind their fate. It features the ensemble cast, including Josh Brolin, Julia Garner, Alden Ehrenreich, hope I pronounced that right, Austin Abrams, Benedict Wong, and Amy Madigan. Normally, anything I watch with Josh Brolin in it, if he's in it, it's bound to be good. That's normally the case. And this was no exception, no question about it. It presented a kind of like vantage point style direction of the movie, the way it was taken. If anyone's ever seen Vantage Point, it was like basically a political assassination movie, but they showed it from everybody's vantage point, which for that movie, from what I heard, it did not do well. But I think this was properly used to a degree. There was only one vantage point that I asked, and I was like, why the heck is this person's vantage point important? And I think it was the junkie. But lo and behold, soon I found out how important his vantage point was. It had some interesting things going on. It had my jaw drop for some of the scenes. Not for the grotesqueness, but the randomness of what the heck of events that happened. I was like, oh my gosh, this is nuts. So I thought originally, because sometimes I have an idea of what a movie is about based on the trailer. Most people that go see movies have a little bit of, spark theory or imagination or idea. Some people go into movies, totally blank slate, open-minded, susceptible to suggestion. But regardless, I thought this movie was going to be about this town, as it presented in the trailer. I actually covered it on the live stream before. this town where the children went missing, I thought it was going to be an ongoing thing of more children missing because possibly a secret government project was being done underground, under the town. That was my first go to concept idea of what I thought it might be. And I was very wrong. Very, very wrong. It was due to a witch in town. And the witch was a relative of one of the students in the class, the only surviving student in the class. And he was the most unsuspecting person involved in that whole movie. I would have never guessed it, but it was very good. Very good. I thought it was very well done. I got sick and tired of that lady after a while. It was, she was doing some nasty stuff for as old as she was. Old freak. She was old freaky. And I was like, nah, man. But again, she didn't show up until towards the second half of the movie. A lot of people, all the audience was left in the dark as to pretty much who done it, who was involved. The school teacher was survived, and that one kid survived. So the townsfolk start rising up in anger. Josh Brolin's character rising up in anger during the PTA meeting, trying to hold her accountable because she hadn't said anything really. And Benedict Wong was like the principal or whatnot, short-lived. But yeah, he was the principal. He played a very sensitive role. I was like, this guy played Genghis Khan. But I guess that shows diversity in acting. He's gone from apprentice in Doctor Strange movie to Sorcerer Supreme due to a technicality, but whatever, to Genghis Khan to this, and his character was all about, saying all those calming leftist kind of buzzwords, and I was like, oh gosh, he's one of them. But yeah, like I said, short-lived. This movie was pretty good, no doubt about it. I hope I didn't spoil too much, but I personally think that this movie was, surprising. I didn't think it would be as good as what it was, but it definitely had me dialed in. It was one of those movies where you start watching it, you got to finish it. You got to have that closure, conclusion type thing. If not, Earth is doomed. Sorry, couldn't help it. But yeah, that was a surprising treat. Also, on a side note, even I didn't include it in the description. Shudder's still making VHS movies, and I'm always curious to see what stories they present, because the first two had some truly unique stories of tales of grotesque and macabre, all from a first-person camera type deal. But they started to expand upon it. Couldn't do it all on first person. So I think there's been about 5 or 6 VHS movies. If you've ever seen them, check them out. They're pretty wild. They're guaranteed at least like one. Let's see, we got Mohammed Shafin. Very cool drawing. Thank you, sir. Welcome aboard. Welcome. Just working on one of my original characters, which is what I like to do. I'm not really a big fan of drawing fan art because everybody else is doing it, unfortunately. I said, yo, you there? Yeah, I'm here. I just now saw your message, so probably a little bit of a delay, as I've been told before. It is what it is. I mean, I'm fortunate to have what I got. I ain't living like a king, but, I'm here. So, that was pretty good show, pretty good series of movies. When you watch the VHS movies, you're guaranteed at least 1 or 2 really good or twisted like stories. And I could go through the whole long laundry list, but I think like throughout all the movies, My favorite ones were the surgically implanted eye, where he could see ghosts. The the GoPro zombie, that was a pretty twisted episode, or short story. The cult, I think, which was somewhere in, it was like Cambodia or somewhere like Southeast Asia, and there. Oh, the Cape of Houdini, I believe that one was really good. So this one, I think it was only, yeah, like two stories, but like the overarching story was pretty good as well, which was, hold on, let me make sure I remember, because I think I saw two VHS ones. I saw the one where the two chicks went into the Halloween house, and there was like baby, just overgrown baby ghost there, and a bunch of other crazy stuff. Can't remember, but the one that I recently watched featured like this experiment. The overarching story was pretty interesting. The experiment at this lab where they were getting people to test this new soft drink. And I think it was called Phantasm or something like that. And it was crazy because as they got test subjects to test this soft drink, just by opening it up, it would like let out like a crap ton of ghosts. People would die in some of the most crazy ways. The can would attack them. It would explode, kill everybody in the secured room. And the overseer of this project, last name was Rockefeller. Rockefeller or Rothschild, one or two. And I thought that was pretty interesting that they put that in there. And I guess his whole goal was to get like enough dosage of phantasm where it would possess the drinker and make them obedient. But a lot of people that got drink, the drink would end up killing them. And it was really interesting because I mean they were just burning through test subjects. So that the overarching story was probably the best one of all that was going on. And let me think. I'm trying to think of the other one. The the Halloween candy, the killer Halloween candy, that was silly. I gotta think. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get back with y'all on that one. Can't remember. So yeah, as we're getting ready to wrap up this show, there's tons of stuff out there that you can watch. Everything but Marvel movies, apparently. Um, it's looking pretty bad with the MCU stuff. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, Daredevil in Marvel Rivals is silly. I'm like I said, I'm not playing as him. But I think that wraps up the show. We've kept it moving along pretty well on schedule, doing things right, keeping order, and maintaining it. Very important to me. And that's pretty much how it goes. I'm not looking to be the most popular guy. I just want the money, as Morgan Freeman said in Hard Rain. So I'll be working on more stuff offline. I might play Marvel Rivals today. I might not. I'm not really pressed to play it. We shall see. But in the meantime, in between time, I hope you enjoyed this show. Hopefully, it was informational. And give me your feedback in the comments on what you thought of if you watch anime. My Hero Academia Final Season, Episode 2, One Punch Man Season 3, Episode 1. Let me know what you think of Weapons. Did you like it? Did it shock you? Was it decent? What was your opinion on it? And also VHS, if you've ever seen that. Let me know what you think. Your feedback, I will respond to. Like I said, I am not unapproachable. I am probably hated on, and that's fine. That's wherever I go. Sometimes, well, In my case, the way I look at it, if I'm hated on, then that's another satisfied customer. So be it. I got to do what I got to do. It don't matter what people think. So for anybody that was here, that stopped by, thank you for joining me. I'm Rob Wilson, comic book artist, working on my next comic book. In fact, actually, while I'm drawing it out now, VKP #1, I've already started to work on concept ideas for the cover of VKP issue #2. That's on the way, but I'm going to go ahead and pace myself. I got a long weekend to get a lot of stuff done. Remember, today's Friday, but tomorrow's not promised. And just keep in mind that because tomorrow's not promised, find your relatives, those close to you, your loved ones, be sure to hug them like there is no tomorrow, because if anyone does tell you that there is a tomorrow, it's a setup. So I'm Rob Wilson. I'm out of here. Peace out. Y'all take care.
Hey, Claudius. You killed my father. Big.